Hello, hello. Does mic work? I think it does. You can all hear me loud and clear. All right, that's good. So, welcome everybody to Explore Aaltoes here at Startup Sauna today. A lot of new faces that I haven't seen around here before. Raise your hand if you've been to Startup Sauna before this day. Oh, wow. So I'm correct in assuming that there's correct in the fact that there's quite a few new faces that I haven't seen here before. All right. How many of you are first-year students? Okay. Quite a few as well. Right. So I'm Matias Korte, and I am community director here at Startup Sauna, meaning I am responsible for the community across all the different entities that we have here. And the entities that we have here at Startup Sauna, you'll get to hear about them in a little bit. But first, I'll talk a little bit about what the whole purpose of everything that we do here is. I don't have any slides, so bear with me. But Startup Sauna originally was founded as an accelerator about 15 years ago. And the whole point was to have more startup founders in Finland. I'm boring you with this history speech, aren't I? A lot has changed over the years, but the whole purpose of everything that happens here is still to get more entrepreneurship in Finland, and especially from students. Yeah. I don't really know what else to say. Yeah, so, okay. I mean, I guess I'll talk about what we have in store today. Each entity will be telling a little bit about what they do. I definitely recommend getting involved with at least one of the entities. It's a great way to get into the ecosystem, to get to know people who are also interested in entrepreneurship, like possibly yourselves. And it's also a great way to kind of see things that you might not necessarily have access to elsewhere. And after each entity has then pitched themselves and told you about what they do, we have a fireside chat and we have a speaker coming to tell us about why you should get involved. I've only been around for a little bit of time, and I'm maybe not the best person to tell you why to get involved, but I'm sure that you'll find a good reason here today. Yeah. I don't know if I have anything else to say. So we'll start with the entities pitching themselves, telling about what they do. First off, Donny, welcome on stage. Oh, and this doesn't work.
All right, guys. First of all, on behalf of Aalto Entrepreneurship Society, I welcome everyone who is here for the first time. We are the alma mater of all the projects you'll see today, and we are indeed one of the biggest, if not the biggest, entrepreneurship society of Europe. Almost all of the startups are directly or indirectly connected to Aalto Entrepreneurship Society, and every project which you are seeing here in Finland, including, for example, Slush or Junction, which you'll be familiar with this evening, are coming out of Aaltoes. 15 years we were doing unbelievable and crazy stuff which people were thinking are impossible. And every year we are coming up with something new. And currently in this building, we are hoping that maybe we'll find also a new generation of students who will come up with some great ideas which will help revive Finnish economy. And this year, we focused on 3 main projects. And we went way beyond what we call pöhinä, the buzz this year, we did a great initiative of building robots and being the great interface between students and the defense industry by advancing competitive robotics and the drone industry. Then we just opened a democratized cutting-edge lab where you can access really great GPU clusters or drones or, for example, XR, VR or AR headsets to do great experiments or just play around with them. Something beyond creating, for example, Minecraft server. And this time we are expanding our horizon way beyond Silicon Valley by allowing our startups to discover opportunities in Eastern Asia, starting from Beijing. We have unprecedented access compared to the whole Europe to all big tech companies of China, Alibaba, ByteDance, Tencent, which, for example, owns Supercell. Everything now is in the palm of our hands. And if you are interested in learning more, you have some seconds to scan the QR code on robots, some time to scan the QR code on thinking rocks, which to, for example, gain access to some humanoids or drones. And if you are interested in getting something more than Silicon Valley trips and go to Japan or China, then Silkway is your opportunity. If you want to learn more, you can connect with me. My name is Doni. I'm leading the board this year, or the whole co-working behind this garage space. Our guys will present a lot more things that you heard now. And you can play around with some Vario headsets and humanoids and open source robotics. Hopefully everyone will try it. Thank you very much, and have a great evening today.
Thank you, Doni. Next up, we have Emil from Junction.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Emil from Junction. We organize hackathons, and we are the biggest hackathon organizer in Europe. Some of you might be wondering what is a hackathon. The dictionary says that it's a weekend-long sprint where engineers and developers and designers collaborate to solve problems of companies, usually with technology. We like to think that it's the best sandbox for developers to come and test their skills and get the best reason to actually use your skills for good. We do these events worldwide, not just here in Finland. In 10 years, we have expanded to over 25 countries. And for example, this year we're going to have hackathons in Barcelona, Lisbon, and in Kyushu, Japan. But we're mainly known for the main event held in November. This year, we're hosting it in Hype Arena. It's a new venue here in Espoo. We're expecting 1,500 to 2,000 developers to come under the same roof to compete of a total prize pool of over 50,000 euros. And the winner of the whole Junction event wins 10K to their own bank account. We have partners such as Supercell, Google, and Linear, which Doni showed in his slide. Linear is from this ecosystem. So why should you join? We asked from our past builders, our engineers, and they mainly say that hackathons are the best place to come and build, meet new people, and try to solve important questions under the 48-hour time pressure. You also get access to, for example, this year, to Gemini API keys, basically unlimited cloud computing, and hopefully Snapchat's spectacle glasses. If you want to get involved and help us build the event, please scan this QR code to volunteer and check all the possible positions that are open. And if you want to come and solve those problems, please sign up to the event. Okay? And if you have more questions, please come and talk to me, come talk to the team. You can find us right there in the hallway. Okay, thank you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Emil. Microphone keeps switching off. Oh. All right, next up we have Dash. Monica from Dash. Here.
Hi, everyone. To start off, let's do a quick show of hands. How many of you guys are from business background? Okay. How many of you are from a tech background? Okay. And how many are from arts or design? Whoa, one person. Great. Well, we're a community of students and early grads, and we've been around for around 8 years. Started off as a project under Aaltoes. Now, same as Junction and Slash, we're under the Finnish Startup Foundation. This is a picture from one of our events. And we acknowledge that all of these disciplines need to work together in order to really create something great. And therefore, we create an event where we gather over 100 students and early grads from different backgrounds, make them sit down together for a weekend and problem solve for companies. So it's not just about coding or just about designing, it's interdisciplinarity is truly at our core. So we make sure that in each and every team, there's going to be one biz, one tech, and one design person. So you get out of your bubble, you get to meet new people and problem solve together on problems from really cool companies. And that's going to happen in March. And yeah, the framework that we're using is design thinking, because all of you guys are going to have different approaches to problem solving, so we really want to guide you throughout the whole process. And the big event used to be called Dash Hack, now it's going to be called Dash Sprint, is going to come in March of 26. But in the meantime, we have a series of monthly events where you can, again, come meet new people and learn how we can all design a better future together. And our first event was last week's Thursday, exactly a week ago. Next one is going to be on the 8th of March, so make sure to come and talk to our booth, keep in touch, and yeah, we are Dash, and Dash is for everyone. So I'm looking forward to talking to each of you at our booth, and let's stay in touch. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Monica. Next up, we have Silta. So welcome on stage, Väinö.
Oh no. Oh no. There you go. Oh, there we go. All right, let's get to business. Hello, everybody. My name is Väinö, and I'm here to tell you about the best way a Finland-based founder can access the learnings of the Silicon Valley to transform their humble Finnish attitude. Silta. Silta hosts a unique program twice a year to let top founders with the most ambitious ideas to build, validate, and grow their company in the Bay Area. Through our 3-month-long program, the selected founders co-live in the Silta house, which is located at the heart of San Francisco. They also get exclusive access to networking events, and they get to make meaningful, long-lasting connections through our alumni and Komu networks. The program itself is pretty light in its structure. We host workshops and keynote speaker events throughout the whole 12 weeks. In the Silta House, we host dinners with co-founders from the largest companies in the world, like Tesla, while also forming our own tightly knit community of Finnish founders. Here, back in Finland, the Silta alumni keep closely in touch with each other through our community events that we host every couple of months. Here, you can find our socials. Please go and follow. We update them regularly with our most exciting news from the program. And also you can, from the middle one, go to our website. It's pretty cool. Please, after all the talks, come and find us from our booth out there, and let's have a chat. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Raina. Yeah, then next up we have Wednesday. Who is speaking from Wednesday? Because I'm not seeing anybody. Does somebody want to go? Little scheduling error, possibly. Yep, a minute. All right, welcome on stage, Tina from Wednesday.
I don't even know what we are. So hello everyone, I'm Tina from Wednesday, one of the co-leads of 2025. And what is Wednesday? So what is the issue that we are trying to solve? As you can see, the numbers speak for themselves, quite sad, and a lack of a lot of potential. So less than 11% of startup founders are female, and if we think about the like money put to female founders, it's even more sad. So the overall European VC funding, less than 2% goes to female founders. And same can be seen also in the business. Finland's funds and grants, where only 13% was allocated to female-led teams. However, if we think about female entrepreneurship, it's very much likely that the companies that we build fall to the impact field. And what we concretely do, it's not just a girls' club, even though we hopefully have fun there, but we organize different sort of events, workshops, speaker events, excursions also to startups, and mentoring. And the most new thing that we started is a database. So you can find on our website a database which has all the female-founded companies in Finland, startups currently. Oh, we are already in the last slide. So if you are interested, you want to participate or support us, please follow us on our Instagram and also Telegram, where we post what we are doing. And yeah, hopefully see you all in our booth as well later today. Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. All right, So that was all of the entities that are here today at Explore Aalto-ES. Hopefully you heard something interesting, something that caught your attention, and then later on, after the rest of the program we have today, you can go and explore around as the name of the event entails. Next up, we have a fireside chat with Kristo Ovaska. How many of you know who Kristo Ovaska is? I'm not seeing one. Okay. Well, to sum it up, Kristo Ovaska is the reason why we are all here today, as it says. Founder of Aalto-ES and president in 2009. And yeah, this fireside chat will be hosted by Annika, who is also there. All right. And hold on just a second while we set the stage. All right. All right. Yeah, that's all from me. Welcome on stage, Kristo Ovaska and Annika Blomqvist.
So hello on my behalf as well, and welcome. So exciting to see all of you here exploring Aalto-ES. And thank you, Kristo, for coming with us here today.
It's my pleasure. And do we have another mic?
Yeah, could we please have another mic?
Change the mics. I have a good voice, so you'll hear me. Maybe it's easy. Thank you for the invitation. This is always the highlight of the year to come here to talk with Aalto-ES folks and students.
Thank you. So many of us may know that you have founded Aalto-ES and many other things, but would you like to tell a bit more about the early days of Aalto-ES and why did you become an entrepreneur, first of all?
And why did we start Aalto-ES? Well, it was pretty miserable in 2009. I was student at the business school, and I started a few years earlier. And believe or not, at that time, it was almost illegal to become an entrepreneur. Like, it was the last career choice you could have if you couldn't find a proper job. And even the professors at the school told that you shouldn't do anything else, but don't become an entrepreneur. And kind of the only career path was to become an investor go to investment banking or consulting. And then we obviously hated that and wanted to become entrepreneurs, but there was no one, we didn't know anyone. And 2008, we went to MIT to benchmark how at MIT students are facilitating the entrepreneurship ecosystem as a whole. And we were blown away that, okay, the smartest students are actually willing to start companies. And then the most successful alumni are coming back and investing as an angel investors and mentoring these students to become entrepreneurs. And then the whole ecosystem was run by the students, entrepreneurial students. And that's how we then came back and decided to start Aalto-ES, and the rest is history.
Exactly, the rest is history. Now it's 2025 and we're still here going strong. So let's talk more about today. You built a centaur, and can you please explain us what even is a centaur, for example, compared to a unicorn? And why don't we have them more here in Finland?
Yeah, well, how many even knows what is a unicorn? Besides being an animal with one horn, and they don't exist. It's a startup. It's a startup who reached 1 billion in valuation, and there was gazillion of unicorns in the heydays after the pandemic, because just the valuations got really, really high. And it's a great achievement for any company, but there is maybe 2,500 unicorns in the world, and then I think it's probably invented by the VCs, because obviously if the valuation is higher, the early VCs can sell their stakes and they get bigger money. And then also the unicorn valuation is dependent on investors' interest towards your company, not necessarily how great or sustainable or whatnot the company is. And then a centaur is a term. I didn't invent it. I just happened to post on LinkedIn about it. But I think Sequoia and a lot of others have been talking about it a bit. But it's a company that have reached 100 million in revenues. And it's much more a testament to a great business, to great operational model, and how the business is built and how the business is led and executed. And there is significantly less centaurs in the world, maybe 5 times less than unicorns. And I think it's just much more noble goal to be able to build a centaur, which most of them are unicorns as well, obviously. And I was blown away. Like I literally, I've been deep into the startup ecosystem for a while, and we thought that there is 10 centaurs built out from Finland the past 25 years, or Finnish centaurs. But then when I posted it to LinkedIn and did a bit of research, apparently there is 20 of them built the past 25 years, which is not bad, because from Israel there was maybe 50 built, and Israel is the startup nation and built most centaurs outside US and China as a whole. So we haven't done that badly, but we are now with Startup Foundation and the whole ecosystem gathering the players together to actually build 100 centaurs within the next 25 years, so by 2050 from Finland, and we are pretty excited about it, and that will be a transformational for Finnish economy. We'd be obviously a startup nation on its own after that.
Yeah, so definitely something rare-ish, at least. But
more rare than a unicorn, for sure.
Yeah, now we know that. Thank you for the explanation, because I also didn't know what centaur was before this. So let's say that a young aspiring founder would like to start their startup career and startup journey. What should they know? What should they even start from? Because it might be like overwhelming to start this whole thing, and everything is so saturated.
I think life is overwhelming, and that's the beauty of life. But if you compare to what it was 20 years back when I started to study, and literally no one knew what a tech startup is, no one was willing to be an entrepreneur, and then it was actually slow and hard to build anything, because there just wasn't anything available. And now you think about the current, and especially I think radically things have changed the past year or even half a year, but past year or so. And for me, at least how I see AI, it's as big of a revolution as was computers and as was internet, but it's happening 10 times faster. And why it's a great time for entrepreneurs, because the biggest bottleneck in the world has been technical co-founders, and they also been the most essential part of building a startup. You always need, you never need 3 business people. You don't even need 2 business people. It's even questionable, do you need 1 business person to build a company? I'm a business person myself, so I can tell it. But nowadays, like, it is literally possible, and we've seen it, we've witnessed it, that 13-year-old high schooler who has no technical background can build, within a couple of weeks, can build applications that companies can actually use, and their own IT teams were not able to build within half a year, because they were not native utilizing vibe coding and the newest tools like Cloud or Lovable or others. And that is phenomenally interesting, and it's the best. Literally every year we tell this, but now it's actually true as well, that it's literally the best time ever to build companies, because whatever is your background, within a couple of weeks you can build applications and you can launch them and you can get users and you can practice. It's cheaper, faster, and that easier than ever. So there is literally no excuses not to start building companies like today. And it doesn't even mean that you need to build a company and raise funding and even get co-founders. Just launch something that would be helpful to you and your friends and get users within the university. That's how Meta and Facebook started as well. And it's just literally there is no excuses not to build.
Take notes, take notes. So, okay, let's say that I would like to found a company. I have an idea, I have some founders. What would be my first steps, let's say within 6 months, to validate and determine if this issue is even worth solving?
Yeah, and I think there is, like, how I see it, there is two schools of thoughts, and you should be studying both. There is Paul Graham school of thought, who is founder of Y Combinator. How many knows what is Y Combinator? Everyone who is ever willing to be in tech or build a company should know what is a Y Combinator, but Paul Graham is the founder, and Paul Graham's school of thought is that solve a problem that you have, and hopefully a lot of your friends has, and then scale it from there. The feedback loop is fast, and you understand the problem, and you solve your own problem. So think when you're a student, think about you have exams, you need to, deliver all kind of homeworks and tasks, how you easily copy and transfer so that you wouldn't need to do those, how you pass the exams easier. I don't know, there is a lot of sports, there is all kind of things in the campus and in your own lives that you would need a solution, app or web app or something else. So that's the other school of thoughts. And I would start with that. I would think that what are the problems I have? Then I would ask my 10 friends. If 8 of them have the same problem, then I would just build. And I wouldn't wait for 2 months or 3 months. I would just build and test, iterate and test until it gets traction and people starts to use it and they start to tell to their friends as well, and then you're onto something. And then there is the other school of thought, which is Steve Blank school of thought, and Eric Ries was Steve Blank's student. How many of you have heard about lean startup? Fewer than about Y Combinator. I think that's good. But lean startup is a way, and customer development is the way that, like how we built Smartly, for example. We knew nothing about online marketing, like literally nothing. And we just started to interview customers and ask customers, potential customers, what are your top 3 problems? What are your top 3 problems, and how would you like someone to solve it? And then you ask this from 100 or 50 customers, and then they will tell what it's that simple to build B2B SaaS software. You go to customers and you ask what are their trickiest problems, and then how would you like the software to solve them, and then you build what they tell, and then you build together with them. So that would be then the other, which is a bit harder. There is less competition as well, but a bit harder and a bit slower because you need to have a feedback loop with your potential customers and users, and you obviously need to get in touch with them. But that's the other way of building a startup. And literally, like, it is the best time ever in general building AI applications, but every company out there, like literally every company and every leader, every function in each of the companies, like finance or accounting or sales or marketing or whatnot, they are thinking how to build AI agents to solve their, automate their work. And they are trying to build them on their own, and they're not people are not native on AI, not native on vibe coding. So someone like any of you can probably build better agents for those companies within weeks than they can internally build. So that's a massive opportunity as well. So that's how I would start.
Yeah. So how tight you would say that your relationships are with the customers that you have, for example, with Smartly? I've heard that you're like continuously keeping touch with them.
Yeah. I think Steve Blank, we actually brought him to Finland with Aaltoes back in the days, but I think he famously said that you need to know your customers' wife's cat's name and birthday and favorite birthday present. So that's how closely you would need to know your customers. I more closely you can work with them, the better. And now we talk about forward deployed engineers. We did that at Smartly 10 years back already. We were shipping our engineers to customer offices to work with the customer and the user to actually observe how they use our software. Well, we do have software, then how they were using the competitor software. And then we copied a lot of that. And then when they started to use our software, then we just observed and told them literally that, hey, show how you use this and tell what sucks and what you love, so that we don't delete the features you love, but also that we fix the features sucks and you hate. And then that's how we build it. And we still try to do. I'm not involved in Smartly anymore besides board member, but we still invite regularly the biggest customers to Helsinki and workshop with them about the features and so forth. So I think you can't work too closely with your customers, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a good rule of thumb, that all that stuff that you mentioned you should know. So it certainly hasn't been easy all the time. How do you cope with stress? And do you have something that kind of reads your mind, like when you're not working?
It's I think it's never easy. Life is not easy, and it's never easy. It's not easy to be an entrepreneur, but it's not easy to be a student either. It's not easy to be unemployed. It's not easy to be a professional sports person. So it's equally hard. And I think we're just too wired. There's too much information, and it's really hard to get our brain to stop. I wish I would have learned meditation at Smartly time. I learned it afterwards, but for me, Jin yoga, which is very meditative yoga, and meditation are probably the best ways to shut your brain. Otherwise, they just tend to go on a very high speed and keep going, which is not good. It's good that they go on high speed for a certain time, but then you need to make sure that they also shut down. So I think that's probably the most important thing. Also, I mean, the very regular things that you control your work time, so that you take breaks over the weekends. You every now and then have some vacation as well. But as a professional, if any of you have been a professional in sports, you optimize your performance and you try to perform at your peak, but so that you don't crash. And that's the hard balance. And when you build tech startups, obviously not when you start, but at some point, and hopefully many of you will as well build tech startups, then you compete in the finals of Olympics. You compete with the best in the world. So on top of being very smart on how you build, you need to work super hard as well. But then you obviously love it. And for most of the founders, it's not that you need to push yourself to work harder, but you work super hard and you actually need to push yourself to not work, to take the breaks because you're so excited about it. But then as in sports, you try to find the balance, how you can perform at your best, but still keep on performing the next 10 years or 20 years, hopefully, at your best. And I think it's different for everyone. Like, everyone needs different things. Some people needs to go, I don't know, silent retreats. Some people need to go and party. Some people needs to do sports. Some people needs to get their nervous system fixed. Some people needs to do something else. But you need to learn. And it's really good to learn when you're a student that how do you actually perform, but then also how you keep it on a sustainable level, and what makes, in a way, your parasympathetic nervous system to function so that you can sleep and you can rest and you can get the relaxation as well when needed.
Yeah, so kind of like studying yourself also at the same time. Yeah. Has there been any sacrifices that you've made in order to succeed, and would you do those same choices again today?
Yeah, good question. And I don't know how you it depends how you think about those sacrifices. Like, when building Smartly, I had several kids and a family. I still have several kids and a family, but that was like my I think about it, optimization equation, and those are, in a way, the limits or the restrictions that you have, that you need to take care of your health and you need to take care of your family and your friends and whatever are important to you. And then, but you don't want to do sacrifices at least I didn't want to do sacrifices that you would regret afterwards. And I was able to cope with my health as well for pretty long. But then my nervous system gave up 2022 maybe, and I needed to first take 6 months of absence, and then I decided I didn't even want to go back as a CEO. Do I regret that? Not necessarily. I gave everything that I have. Would I have done something differently? Yes, I would have started to meditate like earlier before that and do Jin yoga. Would that have changed things? Not so sure. Was there a lot of people that told me that I should meditate? Yes. Did I believe? No. So I don't know. I don't regret. I think it was a 10-year gig. I gave everything I have to give to Smartly, and I'm actually super happy. I'm much happier. Smartly is much happier. My family is much happier now when I'm building a new startup. Will I do the same mistakes? Probably not. Will I do other mistakes? For sure. Will they be more severe? I don't know. Time will tell. But at least I think there is so many mistakes you can do when you build the startup that you don't want to repeat the same mistakes. But there is plenty others that you will probably do. But only time will tell. Now we're 2 years in. I'm performing better and physically and mentally than I probably ever have. I'm excited. I enjoy my work more than I probably did after the first 3 years at Smartly. Will that last for 10 years? That's the goal. Who knows? We'll see. you need to ask in 10 years.
Yeah, we will ask you here again in 10 years and we'll see how it worked. Yeah, so, but how do you keep yourself motivated, like, during these tough times, or do you think that this Finnish sisu is important when building these global companies?
Yeah, I think the founders are just weird, and there is something wrong in their heads, and you're stubborn, you have the stamina, and then you won't give up. Like it's just not in the vocabulary that you give up until it's absolutely necessary, and it's good and it's bad. So I think that's kind of just somehow built into the system for many founders. At Smartly, what motivated me was definitely building with extraordinary humans and people, team members. And what motivated maybe the most was to see how we hired straight from school, or I mean non-graduates straight from school, and we sent them to Silicon Valley to work with. I mean, take responsibility of customers like Uber and others, like literally 2 weeks after they started at Smartly, and they were managing accounts that were several millions a year for us. And then the customers told that they're the best account managers we've ever had. So what was motivating was to see how we changed the lives of these people, and that's what we did at Aaltoes as a startup life, and Guy was in a startup sauna as well earlier, that people don't even know what their full potential is until someone helps them to realize. And then when they go way beyond the full potential and they just learn like crazy and develop like crazy, and you see how phenomenal work they do and how successful they will also be, and no one believed that they would. I think that's super rewarding. So that kept me going. Now what I believe overall, that how you stay motivated and how extraordinary things in life starts to happen, is that if you find the intersection between 3 important areas. One is your true motivation. So if you know what truly motivates you, and then if you combine that with your competitive advantage, I mean, like in sports, someone is just really good from genetics in weightlifting, someone is long distance runner, someone is a tennis player, and so forth. If you combine those 2 with the third, which is what customers or world truly needs and is ready to pay, then amazing things starts to happen. And that's like in Smartly, I didn't have a competitive advantage on online marketing. We knew nothing. I never cared about online marketing either, so it was not a true motivation, but world truly needed it, and we built an okay company. Now with Taito, where we optimize team performance in tech startups, it's truly my motivation. Also, it is a competitive advantage because we thought a lot about it at Taito, and we scaled to 1,000 people. 5 years in a row, we doubled the headcount. It was full chaos, but we still performed well. And a lot of people who worked at Smartly, they even after 10 years, they come to Smartly and tell that this is absolutely the best place I've ever worked, and the culture was so good. So I believe that we actually have a competitive advantage, that we understand performance and how companies that performs and teams that performs well should work, and then world truly needs it. So I think that's kind of the triangle that is motivating to me. Will Taito be more successful than Smartly? I don't know. 10 years, we'll see. But at least the kind of the foundation of motivation and how well in a macro it's based it's in a much better shape than with Smartly. But let's see. There is many things that can go wrong still with any company.
Yeah, so also the culture keeps you kind of motivated, and maybe also resting, the yin yoga helps to keep you on track. So I have one more question, which is probably something that we all are interested to hear from you and from all of your experience. What would be that one piece of advice that you would give to somebody who is aspiring to build a company or start their entrepreneurial journey?
Yeah, there is a couple of advice. The hardest thing is to get started. Like literally the hardest thing is to get started. And the best time was yesterday, and the second best is today, and the third best is tomorrow. So if you ever want to be an entrepreneur, if you are not able to start building today or this week, you probably won't be an entrepreneur ever. Start building. I think that's anything, even small scale. But you only learn by doing. And kind of when someone asks or tells me that I want to be an entrepreneur, and then I asked, have you started? Most of the people tell us, no, I actually haven't. And I was thinking that I need a co-founder and I need an idea and whatnot. And maybe next year, then when I'm busy with studies and I don't have money and blah, blah, blah. And then I'm, okay, but you want to be an entrepreneur. You want to build a great company at some point. Yeah. And then how funny it would be that you would ask the same from 20-year-old ice hockey player, and they would tell at their 20s that I want to be an NHL, but and then you ask, have you ever played? No, I was thinking that I start maybe in a couple of years when I find a good team and so forth. So that's the first thing to do, to start building. And then the other thing that I would do because you still want to have those customers, you want to have the users, you want to have your teammates, maybe at some point you want to raise funding. Second best thing is to join Aaltoes, join Silta program, join Ignite, join Kiwas, apply to FR8, go to volunteer at Slush. There is so many amazing things in the ecosystem where you find like-minded people and you learn to know a lot about building startups, but build at the same time. No, don't only go there. But that's the second best thing that you can do if you still don't know if you want to build or not. Go to one of these, become a core team member, take more responsibility, build a program, build something new within this ecosystem, whatever himmeli they are called nowadays, I don't know. And that's how you can practice actually building if you don't know yet that you want to build. So that's the second best option. And there is just so many amazing programs available that it's just phenomenal to be an entrepreneur or a student. And yeah, and there is the new founder school as well. So you can even go to study what you can't really study what is entrepreneurship, but you can go to meet like-minded people and go to study and take courses from there, which is great. Morten and someone can't remember used to run Aaltoes also, the guy who is now I'm blinking. Anyways, previous Aaltoes president with Morten is running the program, so it should be good.
Thank you for that advice. I think we can all take those home with us, and I highly recommend come talk to us. Come and see the booth, see the projects, everything that you're interested in. We have a lot going on. But
And one more thing still before you go, actually, it's a good, like, for me, the first startup was really Aaltoes. And for Miki, who founded Volt, he was president after me at Aaltoes. I think he learned the basics, and I learned the basics also by running and building Aaltoes. So it's not a it's really good. You actually need very similar skills when building a company. What you need when building new programs, not just going there and doing what everyone else did the past years, but building new things within this ecosystem things. It's exactly the same skills that you need. So that's, sorry for interrupting you, but now you
It's
can
okay.
finish. But I think it was important.
We can take more advice. We are glad to hear. Yeah, but thank you for your attention, and thank you, Kristo, for coming with us here today. Let's thank it.
Anytime, my pleasure.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much to Kristo and Annika for hosting. All right, and oops, leave the other mic there. Next up, we have we have another speaker. I can't see his Roni there. Yeah, he is. All right. Welcome on the stage, Roni Lahti of Komu Homes.
Yeah. Yes. Hey, thank you very much for inviting me on here. And so nice to see this full house here. It's like an amazing amount of people today. And I still remember actually when I was sitting here as a 7 years ago, and I was in the first year of my studies here as well, then I had no idea where I actually came to. But immediately when I heard about these ideas about Aaltoes and other entities that was showcased today, I thought immediately, okay, this is definitely the place for me to be staying here. And I would say, as a retrospect, it was one of the best decisions for me as well to actually be staying here and get involved in Aaltoes and other activities in here. But before going forward, actually, I want to do a little bit test here because a couple of weeks ago there was one study done in Finland that stated that 51% of the young people actually today want to become an entrepreneur at some point of their life. And I want to actually see if this crowd is just like an average population, or how many people would here actually think about raising getting a company around. So raise your hand if you at some point of your life actually are thinking about founding your own company in here. It's over 70%, I would say, in fast calculus. So amazing crowd here. But yeah, I'd like to go through quickly about my journey in here in Aaltoes, what I'm doing here, what I've done here, and also a couple of points about the 4-year journey as being as an entrepreneur as a full-time. And for my journey started here as this pretty old project here. It was called Fola back in the days. And I still remember my first time I came to this open meeting here. And the first question I got was, okay, what is the role that you want to get involved? What do you want to be doing here? And my answer was, well, maybe try out some kind of sales. So helping sales would be really nice to do. And it was just like a bam. Okay, now you are leading the sales here. And it's your job to actually figure out how we are getting 50K for actually the finances project. And remember, this was actually, the role was given for a person who have never done sales before. I had absolutely zero experience, even sent for like emails. But that was the first time I started to realize about the essence of this Aaltoes and the community. Because if you're jumping this kind of project, you are getting for the roles that you are kind of not prepared on. But instead of you're learning as you do, and you just have to figure it out. The same thing happened for me for the next year as well, when I joined the Aaltoes board. And I was made as responsible as the finances and bookkeeping. And this role was given for a person who have never done finances and bookkeeping, like zero. And if this would have been actually the company that I would be joining, I never should have been chosen for the role. But same thing, even though you don't have experience, you just figure out it and you learn. After spending my time for a year in this board, I thought, okay, now I kind of start to understand, okay, what this entrepreneurship is all about. But still, I kind of want to understand a little bit more about the startups, what they're all about. So that's why I wanted to stay one more year to spending in the Ignite Accelerator program, leading the program. And that time, it was so big learnings. I kind of started to understand by discussing young founders, okay, what they are failing at the beginning, what are the things that actually made them succeed. But at the same time, even though it was really beneficial for me, I figured that it was kind of a paradox, because I was telling for the founders how they should be founding a company without actually me having any experience beforehand. So therefore, I thought, okay, now it's my time to walk the talk. I know enough about the startups, about how to found a company. And I was lucky enough to, from this space to found really good co-founder for me. And we figured out, let's do something together. And that was the point that we started the Komu Homes. But now, as reflecting back for a couple years, my time spending in there, I realized how much this community, Aaltoes, other activities, simulated this entrepreneurship with actually having zero risk. And the previous, or the couple of years ago, the one German of the Aaltoes told pretty well about what is the Aaltoes all about. And he stated that if you are working at some kind of project in here, you're basically having similar experiences that you would be dealing with the startups, except the paperwork, which is really true. Because if you think about this project that you saw today, they all have the similar kind of attribute. They have to do the sales, they have to do the marketing, community, people, finances, all of this stuff, which is pretty similar to the companies. So in here, you kind of get to understand how you could be actually building a company without actually having any risk or legal hassle involved. So for me, at least, it was groundbreaking when I joined here, and I believe I wouldn't definitely be in this position at this time if this wouldn't have been the place that I stayed here as well. But next, I'd like to go through a couple learnings as well as my time as a founder. What are the tips that I want to give for the people thinking of actually founding a company at some point of their lives? And definitely, I'm not suggesting that I know everything regarding building a successful growth company, but instead of, I just want to showcase that whatever you do, you start to learn it by doing it. The first thing that I've gotten understood is that it's not about the idea that matters, but it's the action, it's the execution. And everybody have ideas, but usually the ideas are really bad that we have at the beginning. And that's the reason why most of the successful companies you see around here, they have changed their ideas for multiple times. They are not stick in the first one they have. But instead, the winners are the ones who actually are able to adapt based on the feedback they receive from the customers, from the users, from the market, and change their behavior based on that. And for example, we in Komu, we have already changed our idea for 5 times. It's massive how big a difference our company it is at the moment compared that we did for like a first time. And I don't even know what I was thinking back then as like figure out, okay, this is the idea that I want to bring forward. So if you have any kind of idea in your head, don't be afraid of sharing that to others, because nobody actually steals the ideas. Ideas are worth of nothing. But talk it to as much as possible to other people, because that's how you learn, and that's how your idea is getting much better and validated. And it's a little bit closer to the one that you can actually build a scalable company around it. The secondly, that I understood that it's not about what you are doing it, but who are you doing it with? Because as a founder, you have to go through constant uncertain things. You have absolutely no idea what to do on multiple things, and you just have to learn by doing it. But when you actually have somebody alongside of you who have absolutely also no idea what to do, but you are working together and figure out together, okay, what are the things that we could do in a situation? So all this kind of tough situation that you're facing in the future, it's so much easier if you have somebody else who you can actually share the burden with. Then also I've been changed this kind of thought of risk a little bit more. Because usually the risk has been seen as a negative outcome. Okay, what is the worst thing that could be happening? But I believe the risk should be seen as a positive as well. So what is the best thing that could be happening? And what is the risk actually missing at this point? Let's take an example. All of you probably have some kind of ideas in your head. And today you want to actually try out your idea, build a company around your idea. What is the worst thing that could be happening today? Probably it's a minus 100%, meaning that the idea fails, the company fails. But at the same time, even though the company fails, you still gain a lot of different kind of learnings about what are the things you should do and what are the things that you shouldn't do. And for the next time, you'd be a much better founder. But then think about what is the best thing that could be happening in this situation. It probably is that you would be building a world-changing company. And now think about missing this, and now compare these negative and positive approaches. I would say the positive risk is actually much higher in this case. And then finally, it all comes back to basics, okay, seriously basics, but you have to take care of your health. Because if you want to be building a successful company, it takes so many years to actually make it happen. And for my opinion, the stupidest way to fail is to actually not take care of your own health. And maybe that's the main reason why you should actually focus on this. And it all comes back to basics. So you have to eat well, you have to sleep enough, you have to exercise regularly, all this basic stuff. And for me, if one of these three things actually would be disappearing, I wouldn't be able to handle the hassle. But also, if you're actually taking care of yourself, you're also becoming so much more efficient, because being healthy is also as a competitive advantage. And that's why one of my favorite quotes actually comes from our President Stubb, who has said that if you exercise 1 hour a day, you will receive 2 more hours back. And that's really true when it comes to that. But yeah, as a recap, the idea doesn't matter at the beginning, but it's action. You should actually start learning, not by ideating, but you're doing. Secondly, think about who are you working with. It's not about what you do, but instead of who are you actually working with. Thirdly, think about the risk, not only as, okay, what is the worst thing that could happen, but also think about the way, okay, what is the best thing that could be happening? And then finally, basic thing, take care of your health. On today, definitely go talk with the people around here who have been organizing this event, because if you actually are making it or want to have like an actual impact in your life and you want to learn as much as possible, I believe that entrepreneurship is definitely the #1 place to be for you. So take it one step at a time, but start today. Go discuss with the people and ask about what they could be offering to you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Roni. And that actually concludes the program, the official part of the program for today. So next up, the booths can be found in the lobby area, can be found in the co-working space. I'm going to give all of you a task. Go talk to at least 3 of the booths. Come on, you got this, right? Nothing else from me. Thank you for listening. Hopefully you learned something from this or were inspired.